The Marvel Cinematic Universe tends to be something that I have always had at least a mild type of concern with. Uh, Basically, what they're doing is essentially having all these films connect into this one huge world, and on paper it may sound interesting, but then you will come across an issue in that, for one thing, if all these films are going to be connected, then that means obviously that one film is going to have a connection with the other film, so that film is going to reference that said film in some way. So the only way you'll be able to get a certain dialogue or a certain scene in a particular Marvel film is that you have to watch another Marvel film in order to get that reference. Now, the problem with that is that you cannot expect people to like all of your films enough that they want to watch it. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that I don't like Thor. Okay, I think Thor is a piece of shit. The first movie just absolutely sucked. I didn't care for two shits. Didn't laugh once. Thor's hair looked fucking stupid. I don't know. Just let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it just fucking sucked. And then when I heard they were doing a second film, I had no reason to see it, and didn't want any part of that thing at all. Just fuck it, not going. Then you start watching Agents of Shield, which is a television series that's based around the Marvel Cinematic Universe and whatnot. Whatnot. And you have a particular episode where I forgot what the plot was, but then again, I don't know. The Agents of Shield isn't really that good, so I don't remember. But there's an artifact that if you were to grab it, it would like install like an adrenaline rush and like rage or whatever, and you have no idea what this is until you find out that the only way you will find out what that thing is that you will have to watch Thor: The Dark World. So that pretty much is like being fucked in the ass, more or less. So now, okay, Thor absolutely fucking sucked. I will not see the fucking sequel. No one will tell me to see the goddamn sequel. Then I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and they're basically saying, oh, well, you don't know what this thing is? Oh, you don't want to watch Thor: The Dark World? Well, go fuck yourself, because you're never going to know. Unless you want to know, you better watch it. So it's basically just, it's I don't want to say that they're forcing you to watch things in order for you to get what is going on, but that's basically what they're doing. And it just, I just don't know how that is succeeding. I mean, that is that I it, even if I was like a writer, director, or whatnot, and they gave me this idea of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you know what the first thing that I would do? I would burn it. Burn that idea. Fuck it. It just, I could not see that happening. And I don't know how it just does. It just really is not. I mean, I'm assuming comic books do that. Comic books do like connect all into this one, universe, and that is fine. But comic books are not films. They never were, and they never will be. It's one of the big reasons why a lot of the earlier Marvel-esque films did not pan out very well. It's just very hard to do. It'd be to take any medium of art and try to convert it into another medium of art is always going to be a very difficult thing to do, and it doesn't matter what it is. It can be comic books to films, it can be novels to films, it can be video games to films. I mean, it doesn't really matter either way, or vice versa. It's just hard because it's a whole different format, and you have to reconstruct it in order to be able to fit that into there. I mean, I would love to see The Legend of Zelda, the movie, and whatever, if they do like a movie based on the games or original one on itself. But the one thing I know is that they're gonna have to reconstruct it virtually almost completely, because I mean, the whole point of the Legend of Zelda games is that it's a puzzle solving, dungeon crawling, hack and slash, RPG-ish adventure type of game, you know, and to put all that into a film is just not going to work. Like say like take like Ocarina of Time. I mean, you have young Link who finds out that he's the destined whatever, and he has to find 3 stones to open the door of time to get the Master Sword. Then he's trapped for 7 years, and then after he gets out, then he has to go find like 7 or 6 medallions from different temples in order to defeat Ganondorf and whatnot. And now you think that they can like do like all that, do all the dungeons and just all that into a film? It wouldn't have, I mean, the only possible way you could is if you were to like make like almost like a series of films, kind of like with like Harry Potter. I mean, you can have like you know, like an entire series covering like a, you know, similar arc of Link going through the journey of, you know, manhood or whatever, and finding out that he's the destined hero to slay the current evil, and then he has to train his ass off and prove himself to do this. And you can have each of the films represent like different dungeons or different points of that plot. I mean, you could do it like that. I was thinking like a lot of people were saying like, well, it can be kind of like a Lord of the Rings type of thing with The Legend of Zelda. But if you want to make a Legend of Zelda movie right, the first film franchise that pops in my mind that, well, when I think of a Legend of Zelda movie, is Indiana Jones. You know, I mean, Indiana Jones is kind of similar in some ways, where he collects artifacts and goes to these, you know, mysterious places or whatnot, and finds these mysterious artifacts and has to punch Nazis or whatever along the way. And you know, kind of like being like, you know, action comedy type of thing. That's something that I would see how a Zelda film would kind of be, because The Legend of Zelda has its kind of cartoonish feel to it, as it does have its serious moments. Using an Indiana Jones format, or, you know, just like the basic concepts, and use that to make a Zelda film would work. But the point is that when you're taking a media of art and switching it to a different medium, you have to reconstruct it. You can't have Link going from dungeon to dungeon to dungeon to dungeon and fighting, you know, every single boss, all while being mute. You know, it just doesn't happen. I mean, and it's the same thing with comic books and films. They just they're not the same medium. They don't attract the same audience. It and but apparently they're being successful. So I don't know how the fuck they're doing it. And I'm probably just a goddamn fucking idiot that just rambling on for too fucking long. But that's I don't know. It's bizarre that it seems to be working. I mean, I never really read up on the reception of these films or whatnot. So this is just all coming from me, only speaking for myself. I don't know what anyone else thinks besides my cousin, my brother, and whatnot. So, but yeah, that's my say on the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. Fun concept, but it is a bitch that even with some of the films that you don't like, you have to watch them anyway in order to get other things in other films that you might actually like. It's just not a, I don't want to say good, but I don't think it's a wise decision. But apparently it's working, or I don't know. That's just what I think about it. This whole cinematic universe. I mean, it seems interesting. It's just not convincing me, and doesn't really. It doesn't piss me off, but it gets my goat. It just makes me like face palm. Just be like, oh my god, what the hell? But but yeah, that's just what I think about that.